while we're on.
Hey, can you hear me? Greetings, everybody. This is Brian, Terrian, and Jam.
Hi,
Welcome
guys.
to our YouTube live today, Wednesday. Excited to share today's event with you to help you find your benefits for 2023, maximize your benefits. So something I've never done before, so I hope you like it. So for today, we're going to go through that, and also we want to take the time at the end to help you address your questions that you may have. I see some have been put up there by Luana and others, so we'll definitely get those answered. So the purpose again of today's event is I want to show everybody like how to look at your current benefit package with Social Security and with Medicare, so that you understand how to go through and review your own benefits and understand if you're on the right plan, how your plan has changed, what might be another option for you to consider for 2023. The reason why I'm doing this, really two parts, or we're doing this, is there's some significant changes out there. The opportunities I'm going to show you here today. I mean, moving into one simple plan you could pick up $3,000 a year, and like shopping funds or funds for housing and stuff. So I mean, I haven't seen anything like this before in these plans, so I'm going to share that with you. And the reason why we're giving all of this away is I'm a licensed insurance agent, and there's others that work here, and we help members and go through and review their plans and do all that. But there's only so many people that we can help. At the beginning of this season, it was 120, and now we have 84 slots for people that we can help. And so it's just, there's not enough of us to go around. So I'm going to give it all away. I'm probably going to tick off some other people that do this work, but that's all right. So that if you want to do it, you can, or if you don't get on the list to work with us, then you at least can do this on your own, or you have a higher degree of education. That's the plan. Does that make sense?
All right. Does to me.
Also, with this information that I'm going to share with you today, you could get a real good understanding of what the day in the life is of somebody that earns money doing this for a living. And I happen to think and know that if you choose to become like a licensed insurance agent and you want to help people with their Medicare benefits and doing this work, it's one of the best ways for disability recipients to supplement their income. I'll give you a few tips about that at the end, and how that could work. Okay, so let's see. What did I miss? Anything, Jam? Oh, a few things. For those of you that are new here, welcome. These live events are intended to give you some like big picture ideas. And even if you're not new here, especially this one, it's something I haven't done before. And then, of course, the best way that we can help you is if you subscribe to our channel. If you haven't already, then you get notices for upcoming events that we have in videos. As a matter of fact, typically the most important video of the month that is being released will be out in about 3 hours. Somewhere around there. It's all of the condensed news, the good news for the last 30 days. So you certainly, if you want to stay informed, to subscribe. So that's it. So Jim, we have a couple of surveys or questions, right?
Yeah.
What's up for people to answer?
Are you Medicare eligible?
Okay.
So far we have 27 votes. 56% are Medicare eligible.
Okay, great. And for those of you that are not, maybe you're approved and you're in the waiting period, that 24-month wait, or you're still going through the approval process, and this will certainly be helpful for you. one more thing before I get started is in the past 2 weeks, we have done events that will also help you with your benefits, with your Medicare benefits. And this is our YouTube channel. If you look for the live that was, it would be 2 weeks ago, this one right here with Mark Snearowicz, that one will help you understand everything that you're entitled to, like the eligibility for Medicare A, B, C, and D. It was a great event. Check that one out. And then last week we had Philip and Daphne, who are advocates here, were guests, and we went through some of the details of the benefits, like what are the benefits that are in some of these plans: dental, hearing, vision, shopping credits, food cards. And Philip, at the end of that event, shared some super valuable information for anybody who has expensive medications, and how to reduce or eliminate that. So those are the prior weeks. All right, let's get on with the show. First thing is, it would also be if you could, if for those of you that are Medicare eligible, if you would let us know by simply putting a yes or no in the chat, if you reviewed your annual notice of change, because we did go through a tutorial on how to do that. And what that is it shows you your plan that you have this year for 2022 compared to your plan that you have next year. And why you want to do this is sometimes the benefits get better and sometimes they change them. Sometimes your doctors that are in the network are no longer in the network. And if you don't do the review and you get locked into that plan, that's a tough situation to be in, right? Because it could cost you money, impact your treatment. So yes or no on those that have reviewed their annual notice of change. Listen, it's not a test, it's not pass or fail. If you say no, it's all right, it's no big deal. So great. All of you folks, welcome. Linda, Helen, Rose, and all you in the back, you can move a little closer to the front, kind of like church, get a seat. Good. Okay. So I see a lot of no's out there. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. What you see on my screen right now is a template that I'm going to share with everybody in the room here. So benefits of attendance right here. I'm going to put this link in there. And what this is, and you can follow on my screen or you can open it up and watch in your computer and I'll walk you through it. When we go through and we take a look at somebody that is on or going to be Medicare eligible or on a plan and wants to explore their options, we perform what we call a benefit review. And we have a template that we use. And I'm going to walk you through this template and how it works. And if I were you going forward, you're going to be Medicare eligible for years, I would create your own template, fill it in and go through and keep your information in here so it's well organized, and you can come back to it or update it. Or maybe you already have something like this. And Google Docs are a free service that are out on YouTube. And if you don't know how to create a Google Doc, you can put that in there. And for those of you that don't, there's enough. I could do a separate video on that. Super easy. Okay, so to make this work, to start for the work that we do here is we collect information that will help us understand what to look for in a plan. Like the zip code is something that we collect. We also collect the doctors, the medication, whether you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible, if you have any conditions that may qualify you for special benefits. which could be diabetes. Maybe you've unfortunately had a stroke, or you have a heart condition, information like that. We take that and we put it all into this document right here. So we would have your current coverage, if you're on it, your doctors, your medication, and then we go develop a strategy to go out and look for different plans and options in the area to compare it against what you have. That's what we do. It's what we teach others to do here, called a benefit review. At the very top of this is where we go and we look for information. The first thing we do is we would take a zip code, and I'm going to use and go through an example with you here today where I'm going to use the zip code that is in South Florida. And I'm going to go to Medicare.gov, and I'm going to emulate that I'm working with a member that is in South Florida. And this is the Medicare.gov site, public website. Everybody can go to it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to where it says Find Health and Drug Plans. And I'm going to enter the zip code. All right. Now here, if you're going in there right now, you have the opportunity to look at plans from 2022 and plans from 2023. So if you want to improve, you're going to look at the 2023. So I'm going to start with that. And then over here, you want to select Medicare Advantage plan. Now, if you're looking for a supplement and a Part D drug plan, that's a whole other conversation. It's not something that we are going to cover in today's event, because 92%, it's my guess, of the people that we have here are on a Medicare Advantage plan or are candidates for one. Okay. So here there's some different questions. You might be on Medicaid or have yes to some of these others. And even if people do, I just want to go in and look at the plans. So I just select, I don't get help from any of these programs. And even if I have the medications, I don't enter the medications at this time, because I just am looking at the different plan options. Okay. So in Palm Beach, Florida, in this location, it's where we're working, there's a few things that you'll learn. And you know, if you're in Des Moines, Iowa, or here in Vermont, you're going to have the navigation is going to be the same, but you're going to end up there and there will likely be a different number of plans. Like here, there's 58 plans, right? Okay. So in looking at the plans, I want to show you a few things to start with. Right here, it says the star rating is coming soon. A star rating is how consumers rate the plan. 1 is low, 5 is high. So if you see a 5-star plan, that's good. So right now, we're not able to really evaluate the plans based on their stars because they haven't been issued yet. However, I'm going to go up here where it says show me 2022 plans at the top of the screen. And I'm going to show you what the stars look like, because the stars are out for 2022. All right, now, what did I say? 58 plans before. So for this year, there were, it's still 58. Okay. So one of the things you can do in your area, if you want to look for the best performing plan, like what's the best plan in my area, is up here on my screen, there's a drop down button that says star rating. Is we want to look at the plans that have, I'm going to do 4 stars, or I'll do 5 stars. That's the highest possible rating that you can obtain. All right. So here in this market, I see, what year am I on? Oh, I'm still on 2023. I want to go to 2022. Okay. So for 2022, the 5-star rating plans, you see there's this Care One Plus plan. This is a company that's owned now by Humana, and it has a 5-star rating. A few things about the 5-star that's like, it's gotten the highest star rating. If you see a 5-star plan in your area and you would be able to move into that plan at any time of the year because it's a 5-star plan, and not many people know about this. You're not always subject to moving between October 15th and December 7th. If there's a 5-star plan, and there's other exemptions as well, like if you're moving or if you have a special condition or you have low income, you can move to other plans. But so just something to keep in mind for this. So as we look at this, Care One has one plan, 2 plans that are 5-star. So Care One did very well in this. They have 3 that are 5-star plans in that area last year. But again, for 2023, the ratings aren't out. All right. So what I've shown you so far is how to kind of evaluate and look at like what some of the top plans are in the area. Now, I'm going to go into the detail on some of those plans in a moment, but I want to show you some other features in Medicare.gov while I am in here. Okay. First is I want to look at plans that would called special needs plans. And special needs plans are plans that are not traditional plans, as I call them. They're plans that have superior benefits typically, and you can get access to those 2 ways. One is if you're a Medicare, Medicaid client, then you can get access to a special needs plan because of your income status. Or if you have a condition like diabetes, heart condition, stroke. How you would find those plans is you would go over here to the right, and there's a special needs drop down. And if you see, we have 54 plans total in our lookup right now. But if we add and check these boxes, I'll just do the ones for conditions first of all. And it went from 54 to 67. So that's 13 plans for people with conditions in this area. So that would be, in my opinion, the first place to look, because those are typically even better than the 5-star plans. Now let's look if somebody was Medicare, Medicaid eligible. What that would be, what the options are. $78, so 54 to 78. What is that, 24? It's a lot. So then you got to wade through these different plans and understand which one's going to be the best one for you. But that'll give you an idea of 1 5-star, 2 special needs, and then if those aren't a fit, then you want to filter down into the other plans. Okay. I want to see if there's any questions on what I have covered so far, Jim, like anything that's relevant to these few steps. If so, I want to pause, take some questions on this before I go on to the next part of the presentation. We see anything in there that?
This is from Chrissy. I am on Part A only. Hubster has me covered on his plan.
Okay. That's more of a statement. My only
Yeah.
comment would be you can evaluate how much you're spending or your husband's spending. And if he's spending more than the Medicare Part B premium, then it may be a consideration for you to go in and take a look at a Medicare solution.
This one's from Rose. I have Medicare, have a TPD with Social Security, and need to know how to draw more funds. Sorry, this is not Medicare related. Okay.
So what we'll do, Jim, if you see one, just pause me
Okay.
and I'll address it as we go, and then we'll
Okay.
continue on with the show. Okay.
Okay, here's
All right.
one from Warren. How can I
Yeah.
see which are special needs only?
Okay. Good question. So special needs only is when you're in Medicare.gov and you go to this drop down, this top option right here that I just checked, plans for people who have chronic or disabling conditions like stroke, cancer. I think I'm not answering your question. You have to hit apply, and then you've got to go through. This is a really good question, actually. Then you've got to go through and look for them, and they don't allow you, as far as I know, to sort them out. So here's one, and what you're looking for is the C-SNP in it. Okay, that is C-SNP means that it's condition special needs plan. If it was D, it would be dual eligible. Okay. Great
Okay.
question.
This one's from Rose. How do you get rides to the doctor on special needs plans?
Okay. It would be covered in like the next phase and what I'm going through, there is what's called the summary of benefits. It would be explained in the plan if it was available. You're likely not, you learn limited information on Medicare.gov. So this is a filtering process where you shake down your plans and what you see that's available. Then the next step that we're going to go through is to go in and look at the details of the plan. Okay. Great question as well. All right. Let me check my agenda, make sure I stay on track here. Okay, so we've done that, covered that. Okay, now I'm going to go and I'm going to actually show you the plans that I pulled up. Like I'm going to show you some of these Care Plus plans that are in this market and some of the features. I want to do this one first. Okay. So what you want to do, well, actually, no, I skipped a step here. Sorry, folks. So in your research, after you kind of pinpointed your plans, you're like, oh, well, you know what? Care Plus seems to have pretty good plans. So then you want to go back to the worksheet that I provided you, and you want to look for the Care Plus link. And these are not all of the companies that are out there. It's just the top ones that we work with. And, you know, there are other companies that you will find, but these typically are, well, these are the top ones that we've been working with. So this Care Plus company here, you want to go over to their website, and then you want to navigate in to where you can find what's called the summary of benefits. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And the websites are set up similar. They all have a summary of benefits. which is a Medicare regulation that they need to provide. And okay, so here we are. If you look at, these are the descriptions of the plans, and if you look down here on the right, you'll see these are the summary of benefits and their PDFs. Okay, so that's the next step, is you want to go in and find that. Now I'm going to review them with you because I have a couple of examples up here. So this is the Carefree, one of those 5-star plans that was in the area. And this is what it looks like for 2023. So I do like how they have this laid out, because one, it's in bold print and they hit the highlights at the top. So this plan has no premium. One would need to pay for their Medicare Part B. I'm just going to hit the highlights on this. And it has $100 cash back for your Medicare Part B premium, which, by the way, folks, your Part B premium is going to be reduced. That's going to be announced in the video that comes out in about an hour and a half from now. So you'll be getting a little money back. So $100 off. So how this works is, instead of paying this year, the Medicare Part B premium was $170.10. In this plan, if you join it, they'll reduce that, so you're only paying $70.10. Okay. This has primary care, zero, specialist to go see, a copay of $20, $30 for OTC, and then it has some routine dental. So what I've shown you here is how to, again, is how to go in, get the summary of benefits, so you can come through and look at all the details. Now, we had a question about, what was it, transportation, right?
Yeah.
You can search these by if you hold down the control button and the F button, it pulls up this little search feature. And I typed in transportation. Let's see what it has. 0 copay for unlimited one-way trips per calendar year. Provided by vendors. Interesting, it doesn't say or have restrictions on doctor's appointments. So I expect you would need to get a little bit more detail. Usually these are not designed to like bring you out to dinner or your local pub. They're designed for medically necessary transportation. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that stands out in here. Okay. Now I'm going to move over to a special needs program. This is from the same company in the area. It has a high star rating. And this would be for people that have conditions, which I'll find out in a minute which conditions that you would need to have to get access. So in this plan, you get $150 back a month. That's a huge savings in your Medicare Part B premium. So one thing I want to pause on here is thinking about your strategy. Let's say that you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible, and you have a condition that would qualify you for this plan. Well, if you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible, your state is paying for, or should be paying for, your Medicare Part B premium. So you wouldn't have the $170.10. And in that situation, this particular plan would likely not be the best one for you, because if it's offering a $150 buyback for your Part B premium, there's likely, other areas where the benefits aren't as strong. Okay, so this is, we talked about this last week with Philip and Daphne. It's like, you have to get your strategy, put into this as well. That's something to keep in mind. $25 monthly OTC. And co-pays 20, that's all looks good. Emergency care. There was, I want to look at the transportation on this one. Any other questions coming up, Jim?
None so far.
Okay. This
I
has
just wanna
50.
let you answer this one question.
Yep.
If you're on Medicare, Medicaid, MMAI, you can get rides to and from doctors. So sorry, that's just a statement. Um, this one's from Kim. Does your 24-month waiting period start when first filed or first check?
It starts from the date on your award letter that says the month that you were entitled. So you might be approved, for example, today, but you were entitled to benefits because you had to wait a while to get approved, 18 months ago. So that would mean you only have 6 months to wait to complete the 24. Yep.
Okay. And on that note, there are exceptions, like right, Brian?
There's 2. One is for end stage renal, and there's one other condition. For the most part,
ALS.
ALS. Thank you. Yep. Yep. So here, I've gone through and shown you some different options for looking at plan strategies. I'm in hopes that this is not too confusing. You can go through the worksheet and make sense of it all. So this plan here is $25 allowance for selected OTC, $50 gift card for completing the healthy activities, chiropractic care, home health, and this one has chronically ill care, $500 a year that you can have somebody come in and help you out. So there's a lot of different features in here that you can pick up. But that big one was $150 a month in your Part B buyback. Okay. Let's move on here to the next step. Okay. Let's take some random questions before we wrap up.
Okay. This one's from Luana. Can the
Yeah.
Social Security refuse to pay lawyer fees once approved and make the client pay even though they was not granted any back pay according to the administrative judge hearing?
They can dispute the fee. I've actually had that happen to me personally. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. This one's from Helen, 60 and on, lowest SSI, husband works, and I get cut. Not sure about the question, but just a statement.
Okay.
This one's from Rose. I have Medicare, have a TPD with SSA. I need to know how to draw more funds. Can I have SSI also?
May I hear that one more time, please, Jim?
I have Medicare, have a TPD, total permanent disability with SSA, and need to know how to draw more funds. Can I have SSI also? And there's a
Yeah.
follow-up. If you're on TPD, can you try to see if you can start working again?
TPD is what? Trial something?
Total permanent disability.
Oh, total permanent disability. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one, you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible. That allows you, like I've just gone through and shown you how you can access different benefits. And the focus of the question was like, how can I get more benefits? Did I understand that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at the end of the program here, Jam's going to put a link in the room where you can request a benefit review, and we can go through and do this for you. Or if you don't want to go through this exercise as well today, but Jam will go through, put the link in, and then we can have it done. And if you would like to get on the list, as I mentioned, there's 84 slots that we have available to work with people during this Medicare season. There's no charge for it. So I'm going to cover that now, and then we'll continue with the questions. So how this works is we review it, and if you enroll in a plan with us, then that's great. We are your licensed insurance agent of record, and we get paid to do this work by insurance companies. That's how it works. It's built into the fee structure. For example, even the plans I showed you today have 0 premium. Some of them even give you money back. But the insurance companies pay us because they get paid from Medicare to manage your healthcare. So that's how that works. So what we do in addition to the benefit review is we provide a benefit protection program. And on that sheet that I provided you, the worksheet, if you go to the bottom of it, there is information about our benefit protection program that's down here. It's this link right here. And what the benefit protection program does is we review your benefits annually, make sure you're getting everything that you're entitled to. But when you get your continuing disability review, which 20% every year are getting their reviews, and you'll get these until you reach full retirement age, you have access to our legal team to make it go away. Same team that we use to get people approved. We show you how to fill out the form. We will review the forms for you. If it gets denied, then we'll use the legal process that we use to get claims approved. If it goes back to court, we provide you with an attorney, and we do all of this at no charge, right? And the reason why we do that is because we're getting paid to keep you on your Medicare plan by the insurance companies, and it's of our best interest to keep you on your Social Security disability benefits and pay status. So if you go through and do all this research that I've provided with you today, that's fantastic, and enroll, that's great. But if you enroll with us or we do the work for you, then you would have the opportunity to have this extra layer of support with the benefit protection program. Okay. All right, let's continue with the questions.
Okay. This one's from Bear Life. Sorry if asked, but does Medicare provide allowance for caregivers for chronic diseases like lupus? Along with the question, can it be a family member? And also, I owe 60 grand in back pay as I was approved after 3.5 years.
I don't know how your Medicare is set up, but there are programs that have all types of different benefits. So it's difficult to answer based on the information I have. And you know, there's your resources, because it could be a Medicare Medicaid combination. So it's possible, but it's difficult to provide a definitive answer based on what we have. And 60 grand, that sounds great. Is it past due? I'm curious. I mean, have you been expecting it for a while?
Okay, this one's from Daniel. I have Medicaid, Medicare, and need TMS therapy. What plan should I look for?
What was the therapy? What type of therapy?
TMS.
Okay. You qualify for a special needs program or dual eligible program. Those programs are going to have the most benefits.
Okay. Okay, what is the best? This one's from SR. What is the best option for medical care if you're not eligible for Medicaid? Is there a list of low-income clinics by states?
There is, and Jam, if you would put in the 7 resources to help people survive, then on that website, 1, 2, and 3 on that website, is where you would start your local research to find resources for you. Yeah, we got you covered there.
Okay. This one's from Linda George. How can I be approved for SSD but denied for SSI?
Your resources would deny you for Medicaid, for SSI. So if your resources as an individual, single individual, are over 1,500, or a couple 2,500, so general guidelines, then you may medically qualify for SSI, but you don't from the resources standpoint.
Okay, this one's from Afi. How do we use the page Brian said he was not going to share with us?
So I shared it at the beginning of the chat scroll. And so if you go back to the beginning, or I can pin it in there again, I guess. Let me see if it's still
I'm
on.
just gonna do that for you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Jam.
You're welcome.
While Jam is looking at questions, one other point I want to bring up to individuals is what I've shared with you today is a day in the life of somebody that helps people maximize their disability benefits. And if you're interested in this type of work, here's a few things to consider. We here at the Disability Digest are always looking for licensed insurance agents that can do this work, because you need to be. And we provide training if you are a licensed insurance agent, and we help you understand how to deal with our members, to complete the benefit reviews. And again, you're providing a service that will increase their benefits, doesn't cost them anything, and you get paid. And one of the beauties about doing this work in the insurance industry is that you get paid upfront when you enroll somebody in a plan or you switch a plan. But after 12 months, you receive residual income. It's about $20, $22 a month for each member. So if you looked at just having a small part-time business and getting 10 clients, those 10 clients in the second year are going to pay you 10 times $20 a month, $20, it's $220 a month for having just 10 clients, right? So we have 179,000 people here, and we get requests every day. So we're looking for people that would have an interest in doing this, but here's the beauty of it. For Social Security, your income amount that you're allowed to make includes the upfront first-year commission. But the passive commission for insurance residuals is passive income. It's not subject to the allowed amount. So you could have $400, $500, $600 in passive income, but it's like having a real estate or a rental property where you're not engaged into it to earn that income. So we've interviewed other insurance agents that are on this channel. You can find them or ask us to confirm that. But that's one of the beauties of this business. Plus, it's flexible, and it really helps people make a difference.
Okay, I just have one question here, Brian, from Vince. Could Brian repeat what he said about the start date for eligibility for Medicare after you're approved?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's on your award letter, there is an entitlement date, and it's 24 months from that month. So it's not the date that they found you disabled, it's 5 months after that. So look for the line that says you were entitled to benefits on the state.
Okay. This one's from Willie. What is the reason for people owning back pay from Social Security?
What was that? Holding back pay?
Owning.
I don't understand the question. Do you?
Like I think he's asking if what are the reasons that people may be eligible for back pay.
Oh, Well, you're eligible for back pay because you're proving that you were disabled at a time before you got approved. So they owe you money, right? So
Mm.
if,
And
go ahead, Jim.
on that note, I believe Social Security based their judgment on EOD, right?
Yes, they
Not
do.
a AOD. Okay.
Right. So EOD is your onset date, right? The date that you are, your disability started.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, you owe 60K in taxes. Well, that's a whole different story. I like the first one. Probably you would too.
All right. Follow up from Bear Life on payment plan. I have been paying it off to IRS and state since 2017, only SSDI. Please be clear, I owe 60K in taxes in back pay.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
This one's
we have another, because yeah, hit me with
yeah.
it.
This one's from Chloe. My sister gets SSD benefits, and her son, who is 23 years old, have been diagnosed with major depression. He's worked in the past. Can he qualify for SSD?
Possible. Yeah. I mean, there's a variety of factors that determine the eligibility for getting approved. You have the
Mhm.
conditions, they're being treated, he has limitations, has medical evidence, all of those need to be done right. One thing about an individual that is that young is, let alone somebody in their 50s, it's difficult to get approved. But when somebody is that young, Social Security is looking at them as like a big price tag. This is my opinion. Because let's say the benefits, maybe hasn't worked that much, they're 20,000 a year is the value of the benefits. Well, they're going to be paying him 20,000 a year for, with a mental illness, could be physically fine, could live forever. I mean, not live forever, but it could even 70 or 75. So that's a long time. So that's why one of the reasons that, I see that it's just everything's got to be done right. So that's not a yes or no question. I'd need to have a lot more information to understand if it's feasible to make it work.
Mhm. This one's from Her Majesty. I'm concerned that when the SS COLA increase begin next year, I may no longer be eligible to get help from MSP for my Part B premium.
Yeah,
Get extra income with COLA, but then other things go up in.
right. Valid concern.
Mhm. This one's from Warren Davis. Got the tail end of your description of the benefits of Disability Digest. So if I utilize your services to review my benefits, you also provide services to prevent or protect issues such as CDRs.
Benefit protection program,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. This one's from Linda George. The letter I received from the SSI was I was denied because I didn't give them all the documents that was required from me. Do I need to also give them the same documents that I gave for the SSD?
I don't know. Did you understand that better than I? If you
I'm not so
didn't,
sure.
yeah, so if you didn't, okay,
Okay, I think she wants to reapply and asking if um can she provide the same documents that she gave for her application for SSD for SSI.
here's my hunch. I don't, there's, to be definitive on this, I'd need to know all the details, like what the documents were, what you didn't send in. But with the Social Security process, it's a action reaction is best way to explain it. When they send you something, fill it out and send it back in a timely manner, register receipt. That's it. I've known people that have sent in forms before they've been asked to fill them out. Like they go through and they apply and they're already filled out their work history information and they filled out their daily living questionnaire. Yeah, so it's action reaction. So I wouldn't send in a document that was for one thing for something else. Wouldn't do that based on what I know.
This one's a follow-up from Bear Life about 60K grant owing.
Okay. While Jam is going through the questions, I have a question for everybody out there. We would like to know from you what other topics would be helpful for us to cover for you in these events. And the work that we do here is we help people get their disability benefits approved fast. We teach you how to do it on your own, or you can have it done for you if we can find a fit for you. So that's one. We teach you how to keep your benefits. Mostly that's to protect you or get you out of a continuing disability review or an overpayment. And then the last bucket of that we cover is how to maximize your benefits, like today's events, things that you can do to make sure that you're getting everything that you're entitled to. So if it fits within that, that's something that we would like to know. You know, we don't do dishes for other people or walk other people's dogs, so that wouldn't be something, but anything in our like wheelhouse that we could cover for you, love to hear about it. So just put that in the comments for us.
Okay, this one's from BJ for eligibility date. If I was on state disability for 52 weeks right after I was injured, does my EOD start after those benefits ended, or am I eligible 5 months after I was injured?
For Social Security, your date of eligibility, your injury date or your illness date, or the date that you had to stop working because of your disability is your onset date. 5 months from that is when the elimination period ends or the waiting period, and your benefits start to accrue. That is the date. That would be the first month of the 24 that you would have.
Okay.
How did I do with
This
that
was,
one, Jim? Does that make sense?
yeah. This one's from David. I'm on permanent disability with Parkinson's, SSDI, and 65. Can I work part-time?
If you're 65, yeah, you can work part-time, and you're in a bit of a transition stage. So the allowed amount for Social Security disability that you can earn is $970 a month. And there's a regulation that I encourage you to look at, so you just don't listen to Brian and Jam. And that's on our channel and around so that you can see it. And then when you reach full retirement age, then you are no longer considered a disability recipient. You're just full retirement age. Your check stays the same, and you can earn as much as you want, and you don't have you're not subject to a disability review.
And it switched like automatically, right?
Yeah.
From being an SSD to retirement.
Yes, correct.
Okay. It's good.
Yep.
This one's from Lab Lover 61. How often does disability review your disability? I'm on disability through government disability.
Is government disability Social Security disability? Well, I'll speak to it in that sense because that's what we do here. Your award letter is going to give you your review schedule. 18 months, could be a year, could be 3 years, 5 years. and it's on that schedule that you would be reviewed. And yes, they're reviewing, works out to about 20% of disability recipients annually are being reviewed. And the numbers show that 55,000 people in the next 12 months will be have their benefits terminated as a result of a review.
All right, this one's from Eldest Fletch. Paperwork was sent to a different state for SSDI stuff. Like, I'm in Nevada, but my diagnosis and surgeries were in California. So I guess that's why.
Not necessarily. Like, I spoke with somebody this morning in Florida, and they're just starting the application process. And their case was being managed by an office in Pennsylvania. What I see Social Security doing is trying to cover for other people. Like, if they're caught up somewhere, then they'll take some cases from somebody else, which is cool because there's like 1 million cases in the system. So they're trying to get, caught up. So that's not necessarily, I expect it's for that reason, not because how your conditions were diagnosed or treated.
Right. So this one's from Chloe. Is it okay to earn money via investment? And is there a limit? I think it's a passive income, right?
Well, yeah, you can earn money through investments. That's passive income. And yes, that is allowed. There's a breakdown, different information videos that we've done about what actually affects your income. And there's 2 general types of income. There's engaged income, like I'm working here, working with you, so I'm actually working and earning money. But there's passive income from investments, from real estate, from the insurance. That income as passive income, if it's classified as passive income in the tax category, doesn't count towards your allowed amount.
Right. This one's no name, but what age is retiring age?
It's different for individuals. It's really based on your birth year, what your full retirement age is. 66 and a half and higher is what I'm seeing right now with the people that we're working with. Contact Social Security to find out yours, or log into your MySSA account. It may show you in there. Yeah.
Right. This one's from follow-up from BJ. If I was on state disability, does that impact the EOD date at all?
I don't understand how it would. No. Are you in New York or California? There's only a few states that have it, but no.
Okay, this one's from Chris. I'm bipolar, been denied once, waiting on review. Do reviews take longer than the first view?
Well, the review, I expect what you are referring to when you say review is after the first decision, you are denied, and then it's called the reconsideration phase. And those I have, in my 17 years of experience, see take about the same amount of time, typically, as the initial decision. Yep. And the approval percentages are like 11.2 or 11.7% nationally. It's not very high at that level.
Okay, this one's from Chloe. Does the 3-year review three-year review starts on the date of approval or the backdate approval?
The 3 years for the review. Yeah, I'm not clear. I was asked that question the other week. I don't. If I had to, I'd have to. If I had to guess, I'd say it's from the award time that you were awarded, because they just made a decision on it. But I'll dig into that one, consult one of my resident experts.
Okay, this one's from Aldous Fletch. There's a statement. Cool beans, thanks. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but the phone people said it was good news, going fast track rather than sitting on a pile.
Good.
This one's from Bear Life. Also, how do you obtain a letter from SSDI on how often my updates are so I can apply for TPD forgiveness on a direct Parent Plus loan?
Whoa. You're gonna need to hear that one again. There's a bunch of 3 different
Yeah.
parts to that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Also, how do you obtain a letter from SSDI on how often my updates are so I can apply for TPD forgiveness on a direct Parent Plus loan?
So when you say the letter, my hunch is you're asking about your award letter. How do you get your award letter so you know about your reviews? Does that make sense to you, Jim?
Yeah, that's a follow-up question actually. How
Okay,
can you get a copy of the award
okay.
letter?
You can go into your My SSA account and it may still be in there. If it's not, then you need to contact Social Security. If you used an attorney or non-attorney representative, they may have it on file for you.
All right, this one's from Linda. If you're on SSD and want to retire, what will happen to your SSD?
Well, if you're on Social Security disability and you want to retire, what would you be retiring from? Because you're not working if you're on Social Security disability. That's the part that's not clear to me. Did I misunderstand that one, Jam, or?
It makes sense. Your answer.
Yeah, if you could provide more info on that one, that would be great. I've got about 3-4 more minutes, so we'll take a couple more questions before we wrap up.
Okay, from Bear Life, sorry, my above question. First review was 4 years after approval and based off proactive info I sent, they said only to further info needed at this time.
Good,
Yeah.
good. All right. One more.
We've covered everything.
Yes. Yes. Great. Few things in closing. I want to thank all 319 of you that are out there listening to our program today. I am honored to have you spend time. I'm sure there's other things that you could be doing other than hanging out with Jam and I. So it's my privilege to serve you. And a few things as we wrap up. Jam will put a link in the chat for those of you that want to get on the list to have your benefits reviewed. We'll do it for you. And I hope you take and go through and use the information that we've provided here today. Do your own review. And you might see things differently, or maybe you do a review and we do a review, who knows? But I'm in hopes that it helps you get yourself into a situation where you're either confirmed that I'm in a good spot, I've looked at all my options, I understand it, or yeah, maybe I should make a move and pick up some extra benefits. So we'd love to hear your feedback on that. In a few hours, our good news update for the last 30 days will be released. Check that out. And last thing is, we're here every Wednesday for the most part. But the way that we can best help you is if you join us or update us as a member, if you haven't updated us in a while. And the reason for that is, there's getting close to 700 videos on YouTube right now, and you're welcome to sift through and go through everything, and that's great. It's all out there. It's free. We give it all away because we can only work with a few people, like custom approvals that we work with a month, and we only can work with a few people based on our staff for Medicare. So we give it all away. But point is, for a customized approach, the best way we can help you is if you join us as a member or update your membership, complete the evaluation. So we understand like where you're at. Are you trying to get approved? You're looking to keep your benefits? You're looking to maximize them? And then we can get you the right information that we have out of all the content that we have produced and interviews that we've done over the years and streamline it for you and get you the best results. So Jam, as always, thank you. You do an
You
awesome
bet.
job. Shout out to Jam, everybody.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. So thanks again. We'll be back next week. We're going to cover the frequently asked questions next week, like how much money I can make. Does my condition qualify? What can I do to supplement my disability income? That type of stuff. So come on back and join us next week. We look forward to it.
See you guys.